so prevalent? Why do they make it seem like blacks lack intelligence? Why did they just let that man go when the evidence showed that he killed that young boy on the way to his residence? Why is it that we still dying over colors? Don't you know that that's your brother? You just killed another color. All the while we being laughed at by other colors. They be saying things like they feel sorry for our mothers.
Real Life Street Stars. We in here with the members that was at the rally today at NorthPark Mall. Let's just say it went a little further than that. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off just by if you want to introduce yourself.
I am Mike Brown.
Say that one more time.
I am Mike Brown.
I am Mike Brown. That lets you know what it is.
I am Alton Sterling.
Tamara Rice.
Trayvon Martin.
I am Katherine Johnston.
I'm Philandro Castile. I'm Trayvon Martin. Eric Gardner.
Man, let's go and do it like this, man. Tell us about, first of all, today's events. Just jump right into it as far as how today got started. What was the plan? I think it's on the news as we're speaking now. Today being the 10th, July, 2016. Man, tell us about today's events.
Well, to be honest, I really think today's events was very powerful. Of course, we couldn't protest at NorthPark Mall since it was private property. But of course, that never stops us. So we continue to protest outside of NorthPark Mall on the sidewalk. We decided to move. You always got to move. So we moved to a different location near NorthPark, but still on the sidewalk.
Was it a decision to move, or was it someone forcing you to move? Or?
No, it was a collective whole, as we wanted to move ourselves. No one forced us to move. We just moved. So when we got to the other side and we started, doing our chants and everything, and
when you say chants, because they're going to want to know exactly, what was being said and what was the movement. What were you chanting out there?
Well, first, why we were out there is because of police brutality and for the Black lives that have been lost because of police brutality. So basically, a couple of our chants were, what was it, guys?
Too black, too strong.
Too black, too strong.
Too black, too strong.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
All power to the people. Okay.
Also, we chanted, indict, convict, send them killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send them killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Man, that's real, man. That's powerful. That's powerful. So yeah, go ahead and let us know as far as, where it took you, as far as.
Of course, a lot of officers came out, and one of the officers were trying to tell us to stay on the sidewalk. So, we complied. We try to stay as peaceful as we can. Also, there was a counter-protest. They didn't really say much. They came out there with their Confederate flags and their American flags. And, of course, we don't agree with the Confederate flag, but me personally, I do not condone the American flag as well because my people were still in slavery when America got their independence in 1776. Right. So either flag I don't support. The only flag I support is RBG, which means red for the blood, black for the people, and green for the land. And so that's the only flag that I recognize myself.
And just to bring it back real quick, because me personally, I didn't know y'all were out there. I didn't know that y'all were going out there. Who organized it? I mean, how did y'all know to go out there to NorthPark Mall?
I actually kind of saw it circulating around social media. So I decided to call my friend up and say, hey, do you want to go to this protest? She was down, so we just went, and we met up with these wonderful people here. So
right. And I seen the news get involved around when y'all were crossing the 75 bridge from NorthPark going into North Dallas area of Fair Oaks.
Right.
Is that when the news got there? Or were they there while y'all were at NorthPark?
The news did come before we went into the other different locations we went to. It wasn't a lot of media, but once we started kind of getting on the bridge where like we were above 75 and holding our fist up, that's when the media started coming out a little bit more, and then it started to pick up once people got wind of that we were actually out there.
Okay, yeah, and you know, me myself, I personally came out and when I seen you guys on Park Lane and Fair Oaks, right before those, you know, the other people pulled up with the flags, the American flags and Confederate flags and things of that nature. Tell us about that event as far as being there at that corner, because I seen a lot of police presence there, cops on motorcycles, cops in their cars and standing out. Tell us about, SWAT was out there. Tell us about, you know, as far as that and where it went from there.
We've kind of was about to walk through the neighborhoods, and we wanted to chant and, you know, kind of empower our own people.
Right.
But we kind of decided to kind of go back and see if we can talk to the media and kind of get our, you know, our word out there. And then we saw, you know, the counter protests follow us, and they parked across the street with their American flags and stuff. I didn't see the Confederate flag though, so I guess they put that up. But
and you guys had a couple of signs on your end. What was the signs that, you know, you guys were holding up?
I believe one of our signs said, "Am I next?" That's one of the signs that I saw. I don't know about the other sign. I think you were holding one, weren't you? Holding a sign? No, you weren't holding a sign.
But there was a few other signs out there as well. Okay, definitely.
Yeah.
Was there any altercation with, were they Caucasians that pulled up with the American flag, or, you know?
About that, yes, there was a Caucasians, but there was also an African American over there.
Okay.
One of them, just one, you know, I guess holding his American flag right next to his white comrade who is holding the Confederate flag. So that didn't really quite make sense to us. But
Was there an altercation between the two groups or anything
we
like
continued to chant. We continued to show our presence, to show that we are not intimidated by their flags at all. Me personally, their flags don't faze me.
Yeah, definitely. And from that situation, I know the news media was out there at that time, of course, you know, kind of just showing what's going on. You guys stayed there for a while, or did you guys decide to move, or?
We continued to move. We stayed there, yes, for a while, but we wanted to continue to move as a group. So we continued to walk throughout the neighborhood and, you know, continue with our chants of Black Power and, you know, what we were saying earlier. And so we was trying to empower our people. We wanted to talk to our people. We saw a couple of homeless people, and we wanted to make sure that we acknowledge them, that we see them, because a lot of our homeless people, like, we just walk past them without a care in the world. So we wanted to make sure that we acknowledge everyone on the street and be able to talk to them and, you know, give them a little bit of education and show and tell them that we love them and we support them. So.
And I know you said you guys stood together as a group. Speaking of the group, was it consisted mostly of blacks, or was it, you know, mixed race? I noticed y'all had, you know, I seen T Cash out there, one of the local artists. I seen Anonymous out there. I seen a dude in a purple dashiki, you know, fully dressed, you know, representing.
Yes.
Was it just blacks, or?
It was the majority of blacks. Of course, I believe there was one white woman. We did open our arms to her because she supported us fully. I think there was, you know, an Hispanic couple, and, you know, it wasn't completely diverse, but
and
it wasn't just us.
You didn't make it diverse. You know, you were welcome to whoever. I know a lot of people were supporting the cause, honking horns.
Yes.
Came outside on balconies, you know, either a fist in the air or a peace sign in the air.
Right.
And I know you guys were pretty vocal as far as you were marching up. Tell us about where it went from there.
Well, like I said, we continued to go throughout the neighborhood. Eventually, we found ourselves at Walmart. And while we were at Walmart, we told each other, let's not say anything. Let's just put our fists up. Let's just walk around Walmart. And that's what we did, and literally everyone stopped.
Powerful.
And it was literally more powerful than just saying Black Lives Matter. Our silence was just, I don't know, it was just overwhelming. It was just powerful. It was emotional. And we got our message across. So.
Man, that says a lot, man. Did the news crew follow you in the Walmart? Did anyone get that?
I think they lost us. I think we was not trying to really.
Them cameras is heavy, man. I mean,
yes, I mean, of course, people in Walmart, they brought out their cameras, so they probably got video footage of it. So,
man,
who knows?
Man, that's real. You know, the fact that y'all even did that, and I know that is not the last. You know, for those that want to be part of this movement and assist with the ongoing struggle. I know there's more to come, but before I get into that, I just want to whoever want to speak on it, just kind of let me know what today meant to you. Let me know what the past few days in Dallas have meant to you, and just what's going on in America. If you don't mind, just give me something personal.
Okay, well, the past couple of days for me, I know have been really emotional. It's not really the first time that we've really seen anything like this, but it's definitely the first time that I've seen us in solidarity so strong to where we don't even want to leave each other behind. And I think that was the most presence that we could have had today, as Black people, is just being there and being for each other and standing on one union. There was no leader, there was no group, it was us, and that it was just that.
Do you feel like you needed a leader there, or do you feel like you guys did what you guys came to do?
I definitely don't feel like we need a leader. I think that's the problem with our people. We're always looking for two other people to save our problems, or waiting on them to save our problems. At the end of the day, we all have to die for something. If we don't stand up and make a change individually and bring us all together, it takes courage to be a fighter. It takes courage to be a leader, and we can't all just wait on the other person to die as a martyr before we do anything. We all have to stand up, and it only takes a couple of people to spark a match, and you have change.
Yeah, man, that's real. Anything else you want to say as far as just what happened with the recent police shootings, just even with the brutality of what they're doing to the Black community?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think what's going on right now, it's more than it. To me, it just seems like the record is just on repeat. And it's almost like, how much longer does this have to happen before you get it? It's almost to a point of insanity, and it's almost sad to see, especially when you vibrate on a different level. You almost see kind of Black people be normalized to the situation, to where we're almost on auto-tune. We're on autopilot because it's expected. You know what I mean? We just kind of walk through kind of like in the Matrix, like, okay, this is normal, this is comfortable. And, it has to take people like us who, see on a different frequency to understand what's happening. If you normalize us to the fact that we're being shot down or killed or for a traffic stop, then we're going to always feel like, okay, well, this is fine. Nobody's ever going to fight for anything. But I think today, with us being so young, with us being from a different generation, and with things still going on the way they are, and for so many of us to be proud to be African, to be proud to be, from the motherland. We're not afraid, to upset our white coworkers or our white friends. We're not worried about white validation. That's something that you didn't really see in the generation before us. And, like she was saying, one of the things that stood out to me the most in Walmart is when we were walking through the cashiers, this little Black girl was sitting in the basket and she was just staring. That's something that she'll never forget for the rest of her life.
Definitely. And before I move on to the next, do you feel like personally, is it going to get worse before it gets better?
It's in the wind. It definitely will get worse before it gets better. And, the reality of the situation that a lot of Black people don't understand is America was built on war. you know, and when Babylon falls, it falls just how it began. It's just like Rome. Rome was a great empire, but Rome stole and killed and raped so many things that it fell just the way it started. So it's going to start with us. It is, you know, if you want to equate it to Christianity, it is the revelation. It's us coming back to save ourselves by our mental chains being lifted and us seeing our power in everything that we have. And I think the fact that we're starting to embrace that now, that's what's going to be the real change.
Definitely. Please. No, I mean, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But no, I definitely want to hear it personally, you know what I'm saying, what today meant to each of you, you know, who want to speak on it.
Yeah, so the past few days, you know, it's been kind of rough being a black man in America, always experiencing racism growing up, nothing different, nothing new. The Alton Sterling particularly hit me hard. That was like one of the first times I seen a news story, and so graphic that I actually cried. Like I teared up. I didn't really want to go outside. I mean, I really wasn't sure what it meant, that the fact that it was even being considered justified at all. So that's scary in itself, knowing that, you know, Texas, like Louisiana, open carry states. A lot of my friends got CHLs. All of my friends got pistols. So I'm hollering at my bros like, you know, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Watch your six. It's like never before. Warfare is how I see it. And the fact that you had the Philandro cat still follow that. I was there at the rally where the police shooting was at. So that was my first feel of love and unity within my people that I done had in, you know, my lifetime. That I never witnessed anything like that. The vibes at the rally, that was a peaceful protest, and even getting history and knowledge, you know, from some of the organizers there, it was a great experience. To follow up with this, you know, that was such a big impact that I knew I wasn't done. You know, I heard about this on social media, came through, and I feel like this was another example of, I mean, look at where we at now at 10 o'clock, and it started at noon. I've been out there since noon at NorthPark, and then, you know, we went all around the perimeter, and I feel like everybody here got the same heart, and we want the same things, but we are not on social media. We actually out here, you know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody was tweeting all day, you know?
And you said something very important, which was, to me, social media, which is, I feel personally that it's the biggest influence right now that we have to even cause this. Because when you saw the Alton Sterling, where did you see it at? You said you saw the news?
I don't even watch the news.
So you saw it on social media?
Yeah, so I saw it on social media.
Man,
and that's like the first thing you rolling up, waking up as a man to start your day, and you see somebody get blasted. How discouraging is that? You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing you seen in the morning on your news feed. I mean, the public publicity and to what other people were saying earlier, the rally and stuff won't get as much publicity. I mean, we have to come to realize and use social media. I seen it clear a man name, the first suspect. We got to use social media as our media, because that's the only outlet we got. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. And even with that being said, you said you knew about the rally through social media, or were you got a phone call?
The actual rally, the first, are you talking about the one today?
The one during the Dallas shooting. I'm sorry.
The Dallas shooting. How did I find out about that? Yeah, I think that was through like Instagram, or I think I seen a flyer for that.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, that was how I found out about that. So, but I really think the way things are going now, as a people, strategically, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say too much on here, but we cannot use social media like that as far as discussing plans and strategies. You could be outraged and hashtag your life away, but when it comes to really moving, you got to put your feet on this concrete. That's really what it's going to come down to.
There was a situation where they said the police may get the legal right to take away phones from people while they're recording.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, what do you feel about that as far as, you know, people pulling their phones out during police arrests and things like that?
I mean, it's crazy because it's like our only liberty. Like I said, social media could be used the right way.
Yeah.
I seen it clear a suspect, the first suspect that they showed at the Dallas rally. Social media is what cleared his name, because they didn't go back. They didn't go back on the news and say, well, you know, it wasn't him. Not to the next day. He could have already been blasted by then. But when it really come down to, you know, back to what you were saying, the social media. Dang, my bad. What was your question, bro?
Yeah, just really, do you think that people should still, you know, be able to pull out their phones? And
Yeah. When it comes to like police, I really feel like it's no reason if you're doing your job you wouldn't want to be seen. It's surveillance in hoods. I know y'all see them in hoods. They be having a surveillance camera in the hood. They recording us all day doing our day to day. So why we can't record you doing your job? Like it's no reason that should be, but we can't expect anything but the worst because this is a strategy and it's a war and everything is against us. We don't have the power to say what they can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? We can only control ourselves, really, at the end of the day.
Well, definitely, you know what I'm saying, as a black, man in America, you know what I'm saying, and going out there being on the front lines, definitely salute that for real, for real.
1,000.
Can I? Yeah, please. Yeah, please. Yeah, let's talk while we on that subject.
I'm good. Okay, so how I feel about it is that people will repost and people will share and people will get upset and they'll talk about it with people, but they won't come out and do something. Like, that's what the purpose of the protest is. When you come out, make a difference. Your life matters just like the person that hashtag mattered. So if you step out and actually, be involved or whatever, that can make a difference. One person coming out or 2 people coming out, 3 people coming out, that's better than not having anybody come out or somebody reposting something or somebody sharing something.
Just real quick, do you give them credit at least for sharing it though?
I mean, I guess
or is that not enough?
It's enough, I guess. I mean, for them. I mean, it suffice for them. But when we walk 2 and 3 miles and have to deal with SWAT and police and people with Confederate flags in our own home that we call, in our place that we call home, like that's not okay. Like, that's not enough. Because if your brother or your sister was a hashtag, you would, they only retweeted, they only reposted it, they only shared. Why you didn't come out and support when we was out there standing up for him? Or why you didn't come out to the funeral? Or why that's support. Like, any way support is, like, I just think people should give. If you can't give time, give money. You tired at church?
Yeah.
When you can't go to church, I mean, it's the way you look at it. Invest in your people. Invest in other people's lives. When you die, you don't want people to be like, oh, okay, it is what it is.
Definitely.
You want people to hashtag. You want people to protest, especially if it's unjust. And that's all the purpose of us going out and protesting and putting our time in. It was so much people that came out and showed love and gave water bottles and popsicles and apples and everything that mattered more than people retweeting and sharing it.
Real talk.
That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're going to use social media, use it, and then, okay, I'm going to share this, I'm going to post this, but I'm also going to come out to show my support. Don't show it via Facebook or via Twitter. That's a like. That's a like. We don't live off of likes. We don't live off of reposts. We live off of people standing up and making a difference in people's life.
Real talk.
And I guess that's how I feel about. So I got pissed off real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
I also want to kind of low-key feed off of that because I've been talking about that a lot on my social media, where a lot of people want to talk about the injustices of people of color, and they're people of color themselves, but when it comes down to it, they don't want to put in the work. Yeah. And I'm just going to say this. If you cannot come out, if you cannot put yourself on the front lines, I don't want to hear shit
just don't
about anything. I don't want y'all to talk about it. I don't want to see no tears. I don't want to see none of that. It's because we had 2 pregnant women out here today walking with us, and they walked 3, and they walked all the way back. And so that tells you something. It tells you that they care about their child that is growing inside them right now, because they know it's going to be a black child, and they know that they're going to have to come into a world where white supremacy reigns all over the place. And for me, personally, I'm trying to dismantle this system. I ain't going to say nothing more, but I'm trying to dismantle white supremacy. I do not want to bring my children in this world to have to deal with this. I don't want them to have to march and scream and yell to say that their lives matter and and it's falling on deaf ears. No, I want my children to not survive in a white supremacy world. I want them to be able to live in a world without it. Yeah. And so if you're not willing to put in the work, if you're not willing to find your place in this revolution, then shut up. Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Let me touch on can I speak to either one of y'all two who hasn't spoken yet about just today? How many people would you have liked to have seen out there for you to be like, now we're making a statement?
I believe everybody that was out there was supposed to be out there. I don't believe in focusing on who doesn't show up.
Yeah.
If we focus on who don't show up, we're going to be focusing on the whole world, you know? So for me, I felt the beauty and the unity in everybody who was there. I mean, we had our rough moments. We were hot, you know?
Yeah, it was hot.
We were walking forever. We were trying to figure out why SWAT got called, why they called firefighters, why they called an ambulance, you know?
Do you think a protest could go on successfully without the police presence?
I do believe it could. I definitely believe it could. I think a lot of the irritation and the frustration that comes out of us is when the police show up. They don't just show up and say, hey guys, how are you protesting? How's everything going? You know, it's no conversation with us to make sure that we're doing okay. They immediately step out of their car and put their hand straight on that gun.
So,
the hand is straight to the gun, and they stand there and they stare you down like they want you to do something. So I think it could be a lot more peaceful without someone taunting you and edging you on.
and I don't, I'm not playing devil's advocate, but of course people will ask the questions. With no police presence, and you have, trucks pull up with Confederate flags, do you think a situation like that could handle itself out without the law enforcement becoming involved?
I believe when we educate ourselves on who we are as a black people, we could get there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what's wrong is just because we don't know who we are. And so a lot of that frustration that we throw out and immediately lash out on the next person is simply because we don't know who we are, you know? And so today, July 10th,
Yes.
could we have, with the group we had out there? I believe we could have.
Yeah.
Just because of the energy that we had out there. I believe we really could have stood there and looked at them and stood our ground on our side of the street while they stood their ground on their side of the street without the police presence.
Right.
I don't believe every situation can be like that. We're always going to have, you have ignorant people in every city, Right. But today we had a really good group of people. It was
What does your shirt say?
My shirt says unapologetically black.
What does that mean to you?
I don't apologize for being black.
Man. Man.
I've been black my whole life, and I'm dark skinned,
True.
So I had to learn a long time ago this wasn't changing.
Definitely.
And no matter how many names you get called, or how many jokes get thrown out, or how many looks you get back twice, I can't apologize for it.
Definitely. Definitely.
I can't apologize for it. I was born with it, and I'll die with it. And so that's just saying, I'm black. Of course I'm proud, but I can't apologize, and I won't apologize.
Definitely.
If it scares you and it hurts you that I'm black, I'm strong, I'm a woman, I'm opening my mind and my eyes, no apologies.
Definitely. And just real quick, do you have anything else to say as far as on just what happened with the police brutality, the shootings in Dallas? Do you have anything to speak on that?
That's an interesting subject for me right now.
Okay, you still processing it all, huh?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about it.
Yeah.
I do know media, so I know how media can switch things. But after tonight,
And I wouldn't want you to say something now that changes later, and you're like,
no, I'm not thinking you switch anything. I'm just saying, from Thursday night when I got on my phone and saw what took place downtown, because I did not make it out to the rally.
Yeah.
And then till today, just an hour ago, when I hear what took place at the rally, this is what I'm saying. Like, I haven't had time to even process it all.
Man, definitely.
I haven't had time to process it all. I've seen video footage. It seems like there's a few shooters. I hear that there's one sniper, And then we have, it's media.
Did you want to speak on the events of today? Yes. Definitely.
Too black, too strong. Too black, too strong. All power to the people.
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 There you go. So tell us about what you guys got coming up next, and kind of what do you want to come of rallying, protesting, boycotting, whatever it is that you do. I mean, we learned a lot from what Martin Luther King did in the 60s and what togetherness can bring us. But, of course, they always have a mission of what to have done. Tell us, where are y'all going to be next? Where do you want us to be next? And what's the mission?
Me personally, I'm not the biggest advocate for just marching and protesting. We've been marching and protesting for too many years, and we're still getting killed. But there's also a good side to marching and protesting. If I didn't march and protest today, I wouldn't have met these people. So our next thing would be on Sunday, July 17th, 2016, at Clyde Owen Park. We will be doing a demonstration, and it will be starting at 2 o'clock.
2 p.m. Central, Clyde Owen Park.
Yes.
Downtown Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Sunday, July 17th. Who are you inviting to this event?
We are inviting anyone and everyone who wants to stand with the Black Lives Matter movement. It's more about stop Black genocide. We need to start saying that it's genocide. It's not just killings and murders. It's literally genocide. It's not just physical genocide. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's literally everything. It's a spiritual warfare. So, yeah, I want anyone to come out and stand with us. So, yeah.
Definitely. If, somebody wants to get in contact, call you guys, if the news media wants to show up, is there any website, any Instagram person that they could contact? Anybody want to give anything for someone who sees this to contact, or just show up?
No. Show up.
Just show up. July 17th.
So we're not making any flyers. We're not making anything to hand out. We're just telling our people. If you see somebody tell them come out to Clyde Owen Park on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Just word by mouth. We're not going to post anything online. All we want to do is just see if people will come out and support. Like, is that right? Is that how we're doing it?
All right.
Okay.
That is what it is. Man, definitely salute you guys for, like you said, marching miles in the dead heat of July, to get a point across, because, you guys are honestly tired and fed up. And whether it's, from the police brutalities, whether it's the shootings or whatever side you're on, the fact that you guys are doing it together, it just says a lot, and, we look at, people that we consider street stars that are out there, doing things for the city and for the world. And you guys definitely fall in that category of real life street stars. So with that said, we'll be out there July 17, 2 o'clock. We definitely salute you guys for doing what you guys are doing. We salute the movement.
Black power.
Enough said.